Now this second game is also asking us to put things into order, but this time more than one thing at a time, so I'm using my multi-row ordering template. I've got rules that really are going to go into my diagram, so let's examine those rules together. G, L, H, I've got to use all three of them at some point. In accordance with these conditions, on Thursday, you got Harvest as the last film shown. Well, that means we may have Greed and Limelight, but we're going to finish with Harvest. And I can just leave that sort of visual reminder that nothing's after it. That doesn't mean there are 3 films. It doesn't mean it's the 3rd film. It's just the last film. So maybe it's the only film. Yeah? All right. Second, on Friday, you got Greed or Limelight, but you do not have both of them. And it's last, Greed or Limelight. Well, that means one of them is this last film, but you don't have both of them, so that means we don't have G and L and H. We don't have 3 films. We may get 2. If we do, it would be Harvest and then either Greed or Limelight. And finally on Saturday, Greed or Harvest, but not both. Oh, same thing, but with Greed and Harvest. Greed or Harvest is last. You're not showing Greed and Harvest, so we're not getting all 3 films. We may have this one plus Limelight, but I don't know for sure. And that's the way those little parentheses will help me remember that we may have an H there, but we don't have to. We may have an L there, but we don't have to. All right, I'm ready to answer some questions. We got a global accounting question. First, from the setup before we get into the rule set, which I thought was a little sneaky of them, but we have to show every film. Answer choice A tries to get away without showing Greed. That is not right. Get rid of A. Second, our first rule, Harvest is the last film on Thursday. But in answer choice D, they're trying to show Limelight after it. That's not happening. Get rid of that. Second, Greed or Limelight, not both on Thursday. Answer choice B has them both on Thursday. Answer choice E tries to show Harvest after Limelight. Not gonna happen. That leaves us with only answer choice C, which I'll put into my diagram right here. And now that I've got it for future reference, I'll start answering my directive questions. Question 8. Limelight is never shown again once Greed is shown, so what's the maximum? This was question 6. Limelight is never shown again after Greed, then, and we want the maximum, let's show Limelight all we can. We can show Limelight on Thursday. We're not going to show Greed because then we'd never get another Limelight. Let's put Greed all the way at the end, and this is one way of dealing with it. And Limelight and Limelight, so we never show Limelight after Greed. And we want the maximum, so let's put the Harvest in there. There's one way you could get to 6 films. You can't get to any more than that if you're not going to show Harvest, or you're not going to show Limelight once you show Greed. So what's the maximum? 6. Question 10. If Limelight is shown exactly 3 times... Oh, wait, I could do question 9. I don't know why I'm skipping to question 10. Was there any good reason for me to skip? No. All right. Thanks. We'll do 9. If Greed is shown 3 times, Harvest is twice, and Limelight is once. Okay. Greed is 3 times. We know that means every day. So it's Greed, and it's Greed. And we're going to have Greed on Thursday, but I'm not sure which place to put it yet. Harvest is twice. There's only 2 ways we could do that now. Harvest and Harvest. And Limelight is once. So now we got 2 possibilities. Either we have Limelight and Greed, or we have Limelight, our one Limelight here, and our 3rd Greed there. So those are the 2 ways we could make that happen. And what were we asked? What must be true? All 3 on Thursday? Nuh-uh. Exactly 2 on Saturday, doesn't have to. Limelight and Harvest on Thursday, we do not have to. Greed is the only one on Saturday, and it could be, but it doesn't have to be. But E, Harvest and Greed on Friday. Yes, that must be true. Now we'll do question 10. If limelight is shown 3 times, harvest is twice, and greed is once. So 3 limelights, and we know what that means. Limelight every day. And again, it's on Thursday, one of those 2 slots. But only, and again, twice for harvest. Now, twice for harvest gives us 2 different possibilities now, because we might have harvest here and here, or we might have harvest here and here. All right, we've got to have 1 greed back here. We'll say it's this one. And then we need 1 more limelight. Here we've got to have 1 greed, and it's not here, so it would be here, and 1 more limelight. And we don't know what order they go in. So those are the 2 possibilities for the showings. What could be the first film shown on Thursday? Oh, the total list of the first films on show. Well, it could be Limelight, or it might be Greed. Done and done. That leaves us with only question 7. What cannot be true? So 4 of these things just can be. A, Harvest is the last film shown on each day of the festival. Are you kidding me? No, Harvest is not the last film shown every day. That's not possible, so that's our answer. And that finishes this game.